Welcome. If it is your first time joining us, or if it's your second, third, fourth time, welcome back. I'm Nichelle Miller, your host of Crown Chat. I am also your pure international elite Miss Heartland USA, and I am so excited to be able to be here with you today. My platform is The Power to Dream, which is about empowering girls and women to pursue their goals and dreams and to change the world. And Crown Chat allows me to do that. And tonight, I have an amazing guest for you all. Pageantry has brought me into the lives of so many people and has brought so many people into my lives. And I'm excited to share my friend with you guys tonight, Miss Kathryn Fitzgerald. She is Miss Classic Beauties International. Welcome, Kathryn.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have you. Oh, we have a person on that's saying hi, Queen. Okay. Hi, Miss Kim. Welcome. All right. So we met through pageantry. Awesome. We just kind of were following each other online. So I'm excited to have you on. Tell us a little bit about your platform.
So my platform is eating disorder awareness. My late teens and early 20s, I really struggled with anorexia. So I just wanted to be that example that you can get through it. And I just want to empower other girls and women that you're not alone in it and that you should celebrate your body no matter what size you are. Be comfortable in your own skin.
I love that. I love that. So you are the Classic Beauty International Queen. Was that your first pageant, or do you have a journey up to that point?
I actually have a journey, actually. I would love to share it with you guys.
Okay.
So I grew up a total tomboy. I actually have 6 brothers.
Oh my gosh.
So we would wrestle, go horseback riding. I grew up with all of that. Dirt bikes. Never was really into pageantry. I was like, ew, those girls, please. But in college, I met a friend who was a Christian. So the first thing she did was lead me to Jesus. And the second thing she did was invite me to compete with her at a local pageant. That was actually at a local casino.
Oh.
I knew nothing about pageantry. My mom had recently gotten married at the time. So I had worn the dress I wore to be her maid of honor. I'd worn that in the pageant with flip-flops because I didn't want to wear heels.
Oh my gosh.
But I caught the performing bug. So with that being said, I wanted to learn how to get better, do better. I got myself a coach. I started competing at the state, national, international level. I was actually in Miss New York USA in 2018. That was part of my pageant journey as well. And I just always knew that I wanted to go for those bigger titles.
Wow. I love that. And I love how you started, you say a total tomboy, and then you got the bug and you kept going with it. Now, the other systems that you've performed in or competed in, have they had a talent portion, or has that been kind of something you do separately?
I usually don't compete in systems that have a talent portion. I don't sing. I really don't dance. I really don't do anything that's like wow as far as talent goes. I ride horses, but I can't bring one on stage. So I choose not to. I like ones that have fun fashion. I like, being creative with casual wear, coming out in crazy outfits. That's more me.
Understood. Now, Classic Beauties International, for those of you that don't know, is, I think, very unique because it's 100% virtual. Is that correct?
It is. It's 100% virtual. We have the opportunity if we wanted to attend the national pageant, which is in June in Atlanta, Georgia. So I might be attending that. I'm not really too sure with the wedding and everything when I have time to, but I would love to go out there and just meet my sister queens. But yes, the Classic Beauties International system, which falls under the Royal Productions umbrella, is 100% online, and the system platform is domestic violence.
So I got to ask, because I've never done this. I've judged some things online, but how do you compete online?
The energy was there all day. I felt like I was competing live. It felt like a real pageant. Like we had wardrobe changes. I had to come out and interview. I had to come out in evening wear. I had to bring my A game. I was competing up against another wonderful young woman. And yeah, it was just like competing in an actual pageant. Like you got to meet people, you got to learn their stories. Everybody there qualified for the title, so it was just about who was going to score the highest.
Oh my goodness! So you do your formal wear, your fun fashion, everything. Is it via Zoom? Do you send in videos? How does that work?
Via Zoom.
Okay. Awesome. I love that. So how did you get in? I mean, you've done, Miss New York USA, you've done some other things. How did you find CBI? We're going to call it CBI because it's a long one.
It found me. I can't even explain it. Like all of a sudden it was just popped up on my Facebook page. I'm like, I think that's something I want to try. Planning the wedding, everything. I'm kind of financially strapped, but I still wanted to do another pageant.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think that would be perfect for me. I already have the wardrobe. I already have the experience. I have good coaches. There's also an essay portion to the pageant. So there was things that we did outside of what you guys seen on Zoom.
Okay.
So with the help of my coach, we wrote a beautiful essay. That got scored. My photogenic got scored just like a normal pageant. And then we have the interview competition. And then for the crowning, like usual, we wore our evening gowns. So it was beautiful.
Wow. So does that happen all in one day? Does it happen over a couple of days?
It's all in one day and it's go, go, go. It's just like an actual pageant. They tell you what time you're going to have each event, what time to be there, be dressed, be ready, hair and makeup ready. Best lighting, because with Zoom, that's the only difference from like an actual pageant. You have to worry about your lighting, make sure that it's reflecting your makeup properly so you don't look like you're washed out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. I think that's more stressful than an in-person pageant. I would just be so frazzled with everything going on. That's awesome though. So you competed, you won the Miss Division. What have you been doing since you were crowned?
So I won Miss Division in early October. And I got started on my reign right away. So I did some photo shoots. That was my first duty as queen, is to get my title holder photos taken.
Okay.
And then for Christmas time, I actually made, with the ladies at my church, we made Christmas cards to send to the nursing homes. Just to bring a little bit more joy and cheer at Christmas time. I competed in NETS, the New England Talent Showcase. I had a lot of photo shoots, a lot of training, a lot of ways to promote for that. I had the wonderful opportunity of speaking at Women Empowering Women, which is a women's conference held in Boston, Massachusetts. So I got to speak about my platform, as well as I got to take the runway. I got to wear pageant gowns and walk the runway as a model, which was new and different for me. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Hi, Candace. Candace is a former CBI queen that's hitting the stage this summer. Can't wait to see her live. So so you model, you're a pageant girl that used to be a tomboy. You're planning a wedding. What do you do in your spare time?
I substitute teach.
Okay.
Something I do to give back to the community. I absolutely love it. I go in for the day and I get to make a difference in young people's lives and different young people's lives every day. So even when I'm not promoting my platform, I'm still promoting my platform. I'm hanging around adolescent, teenage girls and boys in school that might be struggling with anorexia or any other eating disorder, because there's a whole ton. And I know the differences between each one because I took a class in college. I just really wanted to learn about eating disorders, what starts them, and how to break those habits.
I love that. And I think that it's so important that you are, as part of an educator, aware of those signs and able to help educate littles. And have you found that in the pageant world, with all the multiple systems, that eating disorders are a very common issue that many women have struggled with?
Thank God I was born in the right generation for that. Not so much anymore. There's no more height or weight requirements to compete. Back in my grandmother's day, my grandmother was a beauty queen as well. She competed for her local title for the Miss America system. She actually lost to her sister. Her sister got the crown and she got first runner-up. So yeah, because her sister was 5'9" and she was only 5'5.5". So that was the struggle back in those days. Yeah. And she put a lot of pressure on me growing up to stay thin. So I think that's definitely where my anorexia started. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really manifest until I was in my late teens. When she was passing away, actually, her last words on her deathbed were, "You're a beautiful girl with a beautiful figure." She said, "Don't look like your mother," because my mother's a bigger woman.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's tough. That's tough. Okay. I love that you're taking your personal story and paying it forward. I think platforms are amazing, no matter what system, no matter your reason, but when it's something very personal and you're paying that forward, that's just beautiful. So that's amazing. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you random things. I know people are popping on. They're like, "Hey, girl, hey." So random question number 1. Thanksgiving or Christmas, which is your favorite?
Christmas, because of the biblical reason behind it. I'm not one that puts up a Christmas tree in my house. I think that's what I believe in. Jesus did not do that. But I am all for celebrating his birth and celebrating the real meaning of Christmas. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Amen. Amen. Yes, girl. We have a sign that says that. We put up at Christmas time. Okay. Tennis shoes or sandals?
Ooh. Tennis shoes. If not tennis shoes, flip-flops.
Yeah. I love a good flip-flop. Oh my gosh. When Old Navy does the dollar sale, I'm all over it.
I love Boscov's flip-flops, especially now that I'm a pageant girl. They usually come out with them every summer, and they'll have like a sequin starfish on it or something blinging, and it's really, really cute and cool.
Cute. Okay. Formal dress or sweatpants?
Ooh. Depending on where I am. I'm in sweats right now on the bottom. I have a nice sweater on. But depending on where I am. I'm at a pageant formal, absolutely. But everyday life, my fiance and I just going out. I'm in like a cropped hoodie and a pair of sweats all day, every day.
Love it. So for someone that's debating on competing in a pageant, and especially an online pageant, because it's very unique, what advice would you give them?
Be yourself. You're not going to win the judges over being anybody but you. They want to see you and they want to get to know you.
Yeah.
So even if you're not completely polished, just be 100% you and confident in your own skin.
I love that. So when you competed, or in any pageant that you've competed in, is there a judge that stood out to you that you'll never forget? And do you remember a question that they asked you that just kind of was like, what?
Yeah, when I went for Royal International Miss, every judge I've had, I've been blessed. They all ask me wonderful questions. But I got to know this one judge on a more personal level, and I really made a connection with her.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about my little brother who has autism, because that's like my platform. That's not my platform. It's something else that I'm passionate about, and something else that I raise awareness for. But it's not like my platform. But I was able to talk to her a little bit about that, and also wanted to promote for that as well.
Awesome. I love that. So I know I'm in random question mode and pageant question mode. I don't know where to go. You mentioned that you actually had a coach. What's the difference, do you think, between competing with a coach and competing without? What would you recommend to someone that's a newbie?
If you want to take this seriously and if your goal is to win and you want to win the bigger titles that come with the scholarships that come with the prize package and you really get to promote yourself, you have to go with a coach, because they're going to polish your walk up. They're going to polish your speech up. There's a correct way to talk. There's a correct way to sit. And sometimes it's that small difference. You are another girl. Yeah. So you can be 100% genuine. You can be 100% yourself. But that girl just brought a little bit more to the table. My struggle for the longest was putting intensity behind my eyes. My eyes looked dead, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't winning. But my eyes looked dead on stage, and finally it kind of clicked. Mm-hmm. My coach figured it out. She watched me compete one time, and she was like, there's nothing behind your eyes. Like, it's blank. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm just trying not to blink because the lights are so bright. But she's like, you have to learn how to smile. You have to use your eyes to be able to connect with people, and connecting with the judges, it makes that difference.
Oh, great advice. Make sure I haven't missed any questions that have popped in. Okay, we're good so far. Okay. Oh no, that was me. I was like, did somebody type something? Okay, perfect. So let's see. We talked about your holidays. So what's next for you? So you're substitute teaching, and do you teach just one grade? Do you do multiple grades?
I do all special ed. So I actually work in a program that's unique to New York. We have a program called Oak Tree. And all the students that are there are autistic and on one level or another. They all have autism. So that's where I like to spend most of my days. I do go out and I do go to alternative high schools and stuff like that as well. But my heart is with the autistic children who have autism.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Oh, we have a great question. Oh, that's my Sash sister. Hi, Talisa Marie. Okay. She said, what's your advice on calming yourself before going on stage? She says, I'm okay before stage, but as soon as I'm out there, I shake and I'm so nervous. It's a good question.
I shake too. There's really no advice. I pray before I go on. I talk to Jesus. That's my meditation, so to speak. I don't really meditate any other way, but calling on his name. But I still to this day get shaky, no matter what pageant, no matter what system, no matter what judges. And there's really no fix for that. Just know that people cannot see your legs shaking. It's all inside of you. Because I'll come off stage and my friends will be like, girl, you killed it. And I'm like, I was shaking the whole time. Like, well, we couldn't tell. So just know that it's inside of you. Nobody can see it, and just go out there and have fun.
I think that's great advice. And then also, I think a little bit of nerves are good, because it shows that, you're excited for the moment and you're really into it. So yeah, but good advice. No one sees your legs as long as your dress is long enough, Talisa Marie.
They're not really shaking. That's the key. Because I wore, like, for fun fashion and stuff, like I did wear like shorts with the overskirt, and I would swear up and down that you could see my calves shaking, and they looked smooth. My walk was smooth as could be.
Awesome.
But inside of myself, I felt like everything was shaking. I felt like I was about to fall. Just know that that's all in your head, and nobody else knows that but you.
Awesome. Great advice. That's great advice. Good question, Talisa. Thank you. Okay. So, what has pageantry taught you about yourself?
It actually helped me overcome my eating disorder. I know that's pretty strange. Everybody thinks it contributes to one,
Mhm.
but I had a totally different experience with pageantry. It taught me to how to be okay with being me, and where my unique, where I'm unique, where my strengths are, where my weaknesses are. And some weaknesses are good. Sometimes you don't need to strengthen those areas because that helps make you you, helps make you different. And
Yeah,
sometimes you can strengthen them if you want. But it definitely taught me how to just be true to myself. And I realized when I seen the pictures and the videos and all that, like, dang, I am beautiful. And I'm beautiful no matter what size I am or what I look like.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's all on the inside. I love it. I love it. Okay. Um, I'm looking at my questions. I'm like, oh, wait, we talked about that. We kind of talked about that. Okay. What is your favorite part of competition?
I like fun fashion. I just like the high energy, getting out there, being able to move, and just really show off an outfit.
Yeah. What's your least favorite?
Interview, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really good at them, but I also get very, very nervous beforehand. So I totally understand that. And I got to just really try not to stutter, make sure I get my point across,
Mhm.
and have fun with it and get to know the judges.
Definitely. Definitely. My trouble with interview is I just want to keep going. And it's time. I mean, you only have so much time. And I'm just like, oh, wait. I didn't tell you all the things. Wait. Okay. Um, Formal gown. I know we talked formal gown or sweats. Formal gown or cocktail dress.
Ooh. Formal gown. My wedding dress is totally Cinderella. It's even got like the slit in the front. It's fairy tale princess.
So you did mention before we got on air, everybody, I got secrets before you guys. So you did mention that you're newly engaged.
Yes.
Do you
Actually,
want to?
engaged on Christmas Eve. He couldn't have picked a better time.
Oh, and I was going to ask, tell us about your proposal and Christmas Eve. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So we actually have a mall about 2.5 hours from us. And he made it a point to like want to take me to this mall. And I'm like, a mall for Christmas Eve? Like, that's kind of like, okay, I mean, there's trees and everything, but are you sure? And this mall has a 2-story carousel. So he's looking all over trying to find the carousel. And he's like, hey, do you think this tree is romantic? I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. You know, it's a tree, cool. And he's like, do you think these plants are romantic? I'm like, yeah, cool. He's like, do you think the Santa Claus display is romantic? I'm like, sure, whatever, I guess. And then I couldn't put my finger on like why he was being so weird. I mean, I make him watch a lot of Christmas movies. That's like my go-to on Netflix the whole month of November into December. But I was trying to figure out like where he was going with all this.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the carousel. He's like, "Would you ride on this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And it was closed. And he's like, "Well, how about we sit on the seats a little bit, because it was near the food court, so we actually went and sat in a couple seats over there." And started talking. He started his speech like, "Oh, I loved you from the time I first laid eyes on you, and all this stuff." And I'm just like, "Oh, you're really trying. Thank you." Because I always tell him like I like romance. Like my love language is words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to like tell him like, "Oh, just say something sweet every once in a while. Like it means a lot to me." So I thought he was just like trying back. He's not that kind of guy. He likes acts of service. So I really thought he was trying. Like, "Oh, you're so sweet for trying. Thank you so much." And I couldn't figure out like where he was going. He just kept it going, kept it going, kept it going. And I'm just like, okay. And he's like, let's go over to the carousel. It's open now. I'm like, okay. And he just keeps it going, keeps it going. And then he's like, Kathryn Hannah Fitzgerald pulls out the ring box and he like gets down on one knee in the carriage. There's like actual horse and carriages in this carousel as well. And he's like, will you marry me? And I'm like, yes. And I think like after I got off the carousel, I was crying so much. I think I was afraid of like my lipstick because I was like, my lipstick's like everybody's gonna think we were making out on there. Like no, but
I love that. Candace is, oh, I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. And I love that you two know what your love languages are because that makes such a huge difference in a relationship and especially in a marriage. Because if you're all about, words of affirmation and that's not his jam, you're not sinking. So I love that you two have had that talk and Love
Yeah.
it.
Actually,
Okay.
our pastor is the one that told us to do that. He gave us the link to the website and he's like, figure this out. It's gonna make or break your relationship.
Yep. And it might change. Like after you guys have been married a year or so, it could change because once that one need is met and you get those words of affirmation, it may change. That's what we have found. But anyway, that's another story. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have two questions that popped in. Okay, we'll do this one first. From Candace, what advice or encouragement would you give to those dealing with an eating disorder?
Find the recovery group. For me, I found not only pageantry, I also found a 12-step recovery group that is Christian-based called Celebrate Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a small group there for women that have food or body image issues. So it's all eating disorders across the board, as well as body dysmorphia and things like that, which I also suffered from because I remember I would squeeze my thighs all the time and tell myself that I'm fat. So I would just say definitely get into a recovery group, talk to people that are also struggling and have overcome it. And just make sure to be connected with others and people that are more advanced. Like I had to have a sponsor who's more advanced than me on her journey who could like, this is what I did.
Yeah.
You can't just listen to somebody who's like, oh, you have to eat, because it's not going to help anybody. It has to be done on their terms. And finding the root cause of your eating disorder is a must. So I went through the 12 steps, and that kind of took me through my childhood. I was also a victim of sexual assault at the age of 10 by a Catholic school teacher. So that took me down another rabbit hole. I actually gained a little bit of weight at 11, but then by the time I was 14, I kind of lost it because I was growing still. But I think that took me down another path of just not being home to my own skin and my body. And then I had my grandmother telling me I was fat on top of it. Yeah. So definitely find a support system. You're going to need a support system. I'm actually sponsoring a young girl as well right now who is just coming into her journey of recovery. So I always tell her that to build a support. Your sponsor can't be everything. Your group can't be everything. You got to find your own peeps that you're comfortable with sharing things with, and you have to dig deep, and it is not easy work. All this stuff is going to come up that you might not even remember that you stuffed so far down. And I remember going through my fourth step, which is my spiritual inventory, which is everything that you've ever been through gets put out on paper, gets brought to the front. So in that, I went through my bouts of being angry, my bouts of being sad, crying for no reason. You name it, I went through it. And my fiance was there 100% of the way, picking me up. Like, it's going to be all right, because he went through his own 12-step recovery for something else. So he's just like, it's going to be all right. I know what you're doing. I know what you're going through. This is just the inventory crap coming out. Yeah. And you don't know what to do with it yet until you're on your 5th step, and your 6th step, and your 7th, and your 8th. So now you have all this junk dug up, and you have no idea what to do with it. So all these emotions come out. But if you can get through that, that's where you start seeing the miracle.
Wow. So in addition to support groups, you mentioned finding your own people. Was therapy a part of your process? I mean, it sounds very similar to people that battle mental health issues or other issues. Was therapy a part of your recovery or your process?
It was. I did see a guidance counselor in college. So that was where I got my therapy, and I did talk to her. And she would just listen. And sometimes you just need somebody to sit there and let you air it all out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Somebody that doesn't know you, that doesn't know the situation. I mean, that doesn't judge. It's just a stranger.
My sponsor also was in an inpatient program. So she found some people in there that she really clicked with. And sometimes you need an eating buddy. Like, you need to watch somebody else eat. So she actually has another girl that is anorexic as well. And like, they'll be like, oh, they'll schedule their meals together, and they'll be like, let's just eat together. It can take your mind off the calories and eating and all that stuff that you have anxiety over.
Wow. Interesting. Just great tips. Awesome. Okay. Do you play any sports?
I did. I played every sport. I was a total jock. My fiance's a total nerd, which is pretty funny. But I was anywhere from dance, cheer, gymnastics, soccer, what else? Volleyball, swimming, horseback riding, you name it.
Wow.
I still weightlift. I work out at the gym like 3 to 5 times a week just because I enjoy it. And I like that I can do that again, where I can work out again and enjoy it and not be worried about like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to look a certain way.
So important. Oh, another question. All right. From Christina Rose. Do you have any advice with connecting better with judges during interview?
Eyes are the windows to the soul. If you want to read a judge, read their eyes.
Ooh, that's deep. How do we read their eyes? What if they're creepy and they're just staring at you?
They can try when you're like really sharing your platform, and I try to like lean into them a little bit and just try to get that emotional connection with them. And 9 out of 10 times it works. The other thing is crack a joke, make them laugh. If you can do that, you got the crown.
Love it. Love it. And I love a good joke. So that would definitely work with me. I love it. Okay. Make sure we zoom down. I'm zooming, making sure I'm not missing stuff. Okay, perfect. So, do you have any hidden talents?
I can wiggle my ears.
Oh,
That's my only hidden talent. Like, you can't like really see it on camera, but if I was to do it, I like move up and down every so slightly.
that is cool. Okay. All right. What is one thing that you wish older generations knew about your generation?
I wish that they could see us through our eyes, because we're not trying to let go of history
Mhm.
or tell them that their way of doing things was wrong. We're just saying that there's a new way to do it, and that the old way is not going to work on the youth coming up. For example, my mom and her uncle, my grandparents could push them out of the house at 16 and be like, get a job and you're on your own.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids are sensitive. We live at home till we're 26. That's just, it's a change, and embrace it, because the old generation didn't have their kids home as long. Their kids didn't need them once they hit 18. So just enjoy that you have us around, and like enjoy spending that time with us, and just get to know your kids. That's a big one. Like, instead of trying to mold them into who you want them to be, just get to know them, build a friendship, because that friendship is going to last a lifetime.
Good. Good. I love that. So, as a title holder, do you feel that social media is an important part of being a title holder, or no? Kind of what are your thoughts on that?
In this generation, it is. I always say be wise how you use it. You don't want to be controversial. You don't want to offend anyone. Pageants already have enough stigma attached to them. So it's very important to promote that you're here for everybody, and you're here to represent the world and make the world a better place.
It's a great point. Definitely a great point. So you mentioned that pageants already have kind of a stigma with them. So what would you say to someone that's like, "Ooh, I don't want to do a pageant. I don't want to be one of those girls."
Do a pageant. You don't even learn until you try, and it's not like what you see on TV. TV and the media love to make us out like we're all stuck up. They're all about our outer appearance, that we come from rich families, all the above. We get spray tan at the age of 5. Like I was not spray tan at the age of 5. My mom would have kicked my booty. Okay.
Definitely, definitely. Awesome. Now, have you ever seen the movie Miss Congeniality?
I have, of course.
Tomorrow is the perfect date. So just make sure you wear your light jacket because it's a perfect date. Chrissy Marie says, yes, do a pageant. I love that. I love it.
So you need to come watch one. I've gotten my friends hooked just by like, hey, come watch me. You know what it's about? See what it's about. Come hang out.
Were your friends surprised that you're a pageant girl from what they see day to day, and then be like, oh my gosh, she's a pageant queen?
At first, yeah. I think my mom was like the most surprised. She was like, you? So there was definitely that element of shock there. And I think I actually enjoyed that in a way. Like, people were seeing a whole different side of me, and that I can be girly too. And I came into being a woman. I went from no makeup, looking like I'm 12 every day, to learning how to embrace being a woman. And by the time my fiance came along, like, I was a total girl. And it changed the way he treats me. Like, he opens car doors, he tweezes my eyebrows, he just sees me as this like frail thing. And I want to say that's a good thing, but it's a good thing when the guy can see you as that, and still respect that you're independent too, which he can. So it's like is equal, but at the same time, like, he treats me like a princess, and that's all because like I can do both.
Yeah, that's awesome. Celeste Marie says she's been getting some judgment because she's starting to do pageants now. Yeah, that's common. Find your tribe and just cling on to your tribe, because we get you.
I'm on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
We get you. You can message us anytime. We get you, girl. Okay. Let's see. I know I'm talking about some stuff.
I'm actually sick right now. I have 101 fever, but I'm still here.
Oh my girl. Now I feel bad. Okay. Do y'all have any questions for her? We're gonna make her go to bed.
No, it's okay. I'm in bed all day. Keep me up.
Oh my gosh, okay. I hope nobody's seizure prone. Hold on. Let me see what I did to my light. I'm so sorry, you guys. I pushed the remote. Okay, bear with me. There we go. Sorry. I'm so sorry. as I kill my audience with my light. Let me move my remote. Okay, sorry guys, back to our show. What's your favorite snack?
Raw nuts, apples. I love my apples. My guilty pleasure is cheesecake.
Oh, with anything on top or just plain cheesecake?
I usually like just plain. The only time I like anything on top, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but I'm telling you, go try it. Brazilian cheesecake.
Brazilian? I've never heard of Brazilian cheesecake.
Find a Brazilian steakhouse in your area.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what a Brazilian
Fogo.
steakhouse is, but it's all you can eat.
Yeah, Fogo de Chao. We have one of
They
those.
bring you all the top cuts on skewers, and they cut it right in front of you, and you grab it. And they usually have Brazilian cheesecakes. Not all of them do, but most of them do. And that is to die for.
I'm going to have to check that out. Usually I'm so full by the end that I don't get dessert. So I'll have to check that out. Candace said it's a party. I know, with my crazy lights. Sorry, y'all. I hope nobody.
The top of my wedding cake is going to be a cheesecake. Because I'm like, that is so many. I just need it.
Yum. So you're doing a cheesecake, and then what? What other?
And then I'm doing vanilla, and then the filling's going to be cheesecake. So everybody gets a taste of cheesecake. But for the bridal party, they're definitely all getting cheesecake unless they don't want it. So.
I love that. Oh, I'm coming to your wedding. Okay.
We also have a chocolate fountain and a brownie sundae bar. So
all the sugars.
All the sugars.
All the sugars. I love it. I love it.
I'm like, nobody's watching their weight that day. I'm gonna defeat anorexia.
There you go. There you go. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Ooh, that's tricky. A dog. I love dogs. I don't have any because I'm traveling a lot. I actually have 2 cats for that reason. But anytime there's a dog around, I just want to play with it, pet it. And it doesn't matter the size. My landlord has a golden retriever. Aww. And if it's out in the yard, I'm playing with it and we'll play fetch and everything. And then I have another friend. She's actually my little sister queen from when I first got started in pageants, when I was competing in Angel Face Pageant System.
Oh, wow.
Based in Syracuse, New York, and they're more the glitzy side. But I was like in the teen division and she was like in the baby. She was like 5, 6 years old at the time. Now she's 13. So I'll go over her house and they have a lot of dogs, all different sizes. They have like the little Dachshund hot dog dogs. And then they have a teacup Chihuahua, and they got like 2 big dogs. One is like from the Arctic. It's just all white and like really, really fluffy. And all the dogs are just like drawn to me. They'll come up to me and want to play and all that stuff. I love hanging out. So I would want to know what that's like for somebody to just like come up and pet me all the time.
That's cute. That's cute. Oh, we got another question. Let's see here. I've been trying to learn when and where. She corrected it below. When and where to wear the crown and sash. I want to wear it to everything. What do you do? Okay, so when do you wear your crown and sash and when do you not wear it, Queen?
Airports for sure. But I wouldn't say leave it on the whole time. Get a nice photo and put it away. Because if you're wearing it all the time, people are going to get the wrong impression of you. They're going to think that you are just wanting the attention. And we don't want that. So anywhere that I go that there's like an event that I want to promote at, or there's just like a community event that I'm there and I feel like the vibe is right, I stick it on, I get a nice picture, and I put it away. Or even like a picture outside by like the sign, like, hey, like such and such women's group meeting or whatever going on. I'll get a picture by it and I'll walk in I'll put the crown sash back in my car and walk in without it. Whatever I'm promoting my platform, I wear it. Whenever I'm making an appearance at another pageant, I wear it. Mm-hmm. If I'm doing a photo shoot and I'm modeling, I might ask the photographer, like, hey, I'm Miss Classic Beauties International. Would you like to get a photo with the crown and sash on? Because helps promote your brand too. And a photographer actually did want me to do that. He was like, wow, we have like a real celebrity in here. So he wanted me to get a picture with him with the crown and sash on. But it's just, make sure that you ask. Like I said, anytime you're promoting your title, anytime you're promoting your platform, anytime that you just want a picture, it's best to just, like, even if I go to New York City and I want a picture in front of like a historic building, I put it on real quick, take the photo, take it off. But if you're at any like pageant community event, like when I volunteered for Miss Amazing, which is a pageant for special needs children, all the way to adults, I had my crown and sash on for that. At certain times of it. Now, other times when it was about the contestants' time to shine, I didn't. Yeah. But when I at the end when like I was taking pictures with the winners, I had it on. I hope that answers your question.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, I think it depends on the event. And I love your point about not taking away from their shine, because like the Tim Tebow special needs prom I volunteered at, and I didn't wear my crown and sash because it's not my night, it's their night. And then I took pictures after in it. And then same for Miss Amazing, same situation. So I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Good advice. Okay. What's the best way to get sister queens involved in your platform? Ooh, that's a really good one.
It can be challenging, especially if everybody lives so far from each other. But invite. Go to their things, invite them to come to your things. I actually went to the Ronald McDonald House in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to volunteer with some of my sister queens, and they were from other systems as well as my system. At the time, this was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just make it a point to like connect. Like, hey, what are you guys doing? Do you guys have anything coming up that I could join you with? Like, always just reach out. It's about communication.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's about building relationships. I think that's what this is about. It's a sisterhood. And you have to, I mean, even if it's not platform or appearance related, just reach out periodically and, hey, how's it going? That way people are like, oh, yeah, I remember her. She connected with me. I want to go to her event. I think it makes it easier.
And I think the best way to do that is like a group chat. Just put in the group chat every so often, like update them. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Or hey, I'm doing this. How are you guys doing? Or vice versa. Like, hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, I'm good. What are you doing for your title? I'm doing this. Well, I'm doing this. Just try to connect and come together.
Yeah. It's a really good point, because your pageant, I mean, it's all across the country. So do you and your sister queens have a group chat that you guys stay connected in? Okay. Awesome.
And we actually have check-ins every so often where we'll go on Zoom and we'll connect and we'll talk about what we're doing, what's our plans for like the next couple of months, sort of thing.
That's awesome. It's so important to stay connected, because it's easy to kind of zone out. So being connected is huge.
And once you zone out, your appearances are going to stop. Because once you zone out, you're going to be like, okay, I have this crown and sash. Mine is in a nice little crown case. And it just stays on my desk unless like I'm promoting. So it's very, very easy to just leave it on your desk.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are connecting with your system or really wanting to get yourself out there.
For sure. For sure. All right. What are 3 words that describe you?
Humble, honest, and unique.
Oh, those are good. Those are very good. Are pageant queens really humble?
We are. It's all about, those crying faces that you see during the crown moment. They are 100% real, because you never think it's going to be you. You always think you're always rooting for another girl when you're competing. Like, oh, that girl's going to get it. Or it's going to be this girl. You never go into it thinking I'm going to come out the queen. So when you do, it's like you're just grateful to yourself, to your support network, if you believe in Jesus or God, to that higher power. For me, it's Jesus. I'm just like, thank you, Lord. I guess you had plans for me for this pageant system. So
Definitely.
I definitely think pageant queens are really humble and just grateful for the opportunity. We want to promote something and raise awareness for something that we're passionate about.
Love it. You need to come to Pure, girl. It's a faith-based pageant, but we'll talk later. Okay.
I thought about it.
Come. We'll talk later. We'll talk. You know how to reach me. Okay. If you had $1 million, what would you buy first?
Ooh, I think I want to pay off debt. I want to buy a nice home for us and our future kids. And then I'd want to put money towards charities that I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
I would also give to my church, because I obviously believe in tithing. So I want to make sure that comes right off the top. The church gets their cut. Really, God gets his cut, because he's going to use it through the church however he sees fit.
Yep.
And the rest I would want to invest. I want to invest in a way that I can help other girls and women overcome what I've gone through.
Yeah. Yeah. Talisa says, yes, girl, come to Pure. Courtney says, Pure's amazing. Yes.
Yes. Maybe a couple of years.
Yes, my Sasha. I know. She said she's going to take a little bit of time off. She's getting married, but we'll keep poking her, you guys. We'll keep poking her. Okay. Are you a good dancer?
Ooh. I took dance classes, but I wouldn't say especially not anymore. I actually went through a couple surgeries. So I actually had my gallbladder removed and I had open heart surgery. So I lost a lot of my flexibility, but definitely for opening numbers and stuff like that, I can definitely memorize a routine and hold my own.
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. Opening number gets me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to remember this. I got to remember that. I got to wear my shoes. Okay. I got to remember where to be. I get so frazzled. I'm like, ah. Okay. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oof. Oh my gosh, like I like ice cream that's unique to a specific area. It's not
Okay.
really in every place, but I love the Nutella flavor. I love a good s'mores flavor. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
anything chocolate and peanut butter. Um, and I also love sweet frog because I'm not supposed to eat ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant, but I still cheat and do it anyway, as well as my
And you're
cheese.
having cheesecake at your wedding?
I'm just like no dairy for the week. If I just have a little bit, I'll be okay.
Okay.
I have more of like an intolerance and like an allergy. It doesn't get me like so much unless I eat it like all week. Like if I have a piece of cheese every day of the week, I'm gonna feel it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Would you rather explore the ocean or space? That's a good
The
question.
ocean. I don't like heights. My fiance can go skydiving, and I'm like, you're not getting me out of a plane. Not happening.
Oh gosh. All right, the ocean it is. The ocean it is. I'm excited. I'm going to Florida in a couple of weeks and I'm going to swim with the dolphins. Like that's the highlight of my trip. I'm so excited.
Yes, I was always like a mermaid at heart. I like to say I was always about the water and sea life. When I was a kid, like you couldn't get me out of the pool. Like my favorite show when I was a kid was Hannah Montana. And I remember my grandmother couldn't even get me out of the pool to go watch Hannah Montana. Like that's how much
Oh wow.
I'm staying in the water today.
You were all in, all
Yeah.
in. Oh my gosh. Ice cream flavor. Someone says Ben and Jerry's fish food is awesome. Oh, that doesn't sound good as an ice cream flavor, Talisa.
I have to try it. I want to know now.
Now I'm intrigued. Okay, we'll have to write that one down to come back to. Okay. So, what's next for you? So, you're crowning your successor in November, but what kind of do you have planned coming up, or what events can we follow you on or support?
You can follow me on my Instagram. It's at Kathryn Fitzgerald 7, as well as I have my Facebook, which is just Kathryn Fitzgerald. For the next 4 months after that, it's going to Sanchez. So just so you know and are aware.
I love
And
it.
what else? What else do I have coming up? I have a couple fashion shows that I've asked to be in. I also have a Sista SISTA conference that I've asked to speak about my platform and about Jesus at. So I'll be doing that. That's in June.
I love
So I
that.
have some good things coming up.
It could
Some
be
good
perfect.
things in the works and some that I'm still like confirming, making sure that it's actually gonna happen. But
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything coming up with your CBI sisters over the next couple of months?
in June, there's a national pageant in Atlanta that I'm not sure if I'm going to attend yet, but we definitely have that meet and greet to catch up. And I hope my CBS sister queens are there if I do go. But that's what we have.
I love that. Now, where's home for you?
Owego, New York. So if you don't know where that is, it's a quaint little town. It was actually voted the coolest town in America some years ago. But if you talk to any like local that's a little older, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what year that was." So my pastor included, like people like to gloat about that area here. But yeah, it's a quaint, it's a quiet little town, and it's an hour from Syracuse.
Okay.
It's 2.5 hours from Rochester. It's 2.5 hours the other way to Albany. So I have some major cities around me, but when I come home, it's just peaceful and quiet, and the neighbors are nice, and there's towns that have horses. I mean, it's so country, and I love it.
I didn't know there were any country parts of New York. So I'm just like,
You gotta come upstate, not downstate. You get upstate. I was raised in Queens, so I can say that. And I couldn't wait till I was 18 to get the heck out of there. Let's use the word heck for better words. But I was always about the grass and the scenery, and I didn't really get much of that, so I longed for it. And my biological parents, my mother and father, they moved to East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania Bushkill, Pennsylvania for a while. My fiance lives in East Stroudsburg. So we actually met when I was visiting my parents from Binghamton. I went to Binghamton for college. Okay. So we actually met while I was up on Christmas break. And 3 years ago now. That's been 3 years.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So what does he think about you doing pageants?
He was very like inquisitive when we first met, and before we were dating, like because he was also a friend of my mom's, because I was like her neighbor in a way. And he's a computer scientist, so he would fix her computer sometimes from here to here. Okay. So he was just like, pageant girl, okay. And then on December 7th, I'll never forget that day either. My mom had him over, and I had college math going on, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I'm lost. I'm not a nerd. Can you help me out? So he's helping me with my college math homework. We're up to like 4 a.m. And then I'm telling my little brother, I'm like, get the dresses, get everything. My little brother wanted to come see the pageant for a state level. And I'm like, get the dresses, get everything in the car, we have to go. And he's like, go, where are you going? I'm like, I have to be there for hair and makeup at 5 a.m. I got a pageant like 2 hours, well, an hour and change away, And he's like, you got a pageant, you have all night hanging out with me. And I'm like, yeah, I perform better on adrenaline. True story, I do.
Wow.
So he's like, okay, well, let me tweeze your eyebrows. Least I can do for you. So he does them so good. My hair and makeup artist looks at it, and she's like, who did your eyebrows? And I'm like, oh, some guy. And she's like, okay, is some guy gay? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, is some guy married? I'm like, no. She's like, are you and some guy dating? I'm like, no. She's like, girl, when are you going to date this guy? And I'm just like, not really looking for anybody right now, whatever. But what got me is Christmas time, he left me $80. Because when I like to shop, he left me gift cards for where I wanted to go.
Aww.
Between JCPenney and Boscov's. Those are my stores for like makeup and stuff. Because he asked me like, oh, where do you get your pageant supplies? So he got me that. Then he left my mother $150 to get her hair done to a local salon.
Aw, so sweet.
And I was like, no other guy that's not expecting anything, no strings attached, we're not dating. We're not even friends, we're just kind of like acquaintances. He's my family's friend.
Yeah.
And no other guy that like was trying to pursue me in any way did that. And I would usually reject them. Like I was like, no, you're like a queen if you want me. Like I got such self-confidence that through pageantry that I was like that, and I would turn every guy down.
Yeah. I love
it.
And
I was like, all right, you earned yourself one date. There's no kiss hugging, there's no kissing, there's no hand holding, there's no nothing, because I don't want to weird out any friendship. And I'm saving myself for marriage. You gotta wait too for that. And he was like, well, I haven't done that yet, but I guess I'll try something new this time. I'm like, well, gotta,
Exactly.
So he was completely respectful. It still is. And
I love it. That's so sweet. I love your story.
I told him the pageant. I'm like, look, and I had the crown sash in my head. I'm like, look, I got the state title. And he was like, congratulations.
I love that. It takes a special man to marry a pageant girl. So it's good that he's getting orientation now, so he knows what's coming.
My coaches taught him how to steam dresses. They taught him all the ins and outs. Like, you want her, you gotta step your game up, man. So
wow. I love that. I love it. I love it. Yeah, when somebody says you found a treasure. So sweet. So sweet. Okay. We are wrapping up. We're coming to the end of our time. Are you ready for your onstage question? Dun, dun, dun.
I am.
Okay. Make sure I didn't miss any questions before I go to the onstage question. Okay, we're good. What do you think is the most important duty of a title holder?
To promote their platform, to raise awareness, to be a queen of the people. Go into the poor neighborhoods, go to, when they have food drives, all that, help out, get to meet people. I remember thinking, oh, I'm not really making a difference. And the looks on the faces of kids, of adults, of parents. I had a parent look at me and say, I didn't eat a home cooked meal and I can't remember how long. So definitely just put yourself out there. It's all about being there for the people and being there for the least of these.
I love that. I love that. Oh, Queen Kathryn, thank you so much for connecting with me, for responding when I reached out to you to come on and to be flexible and come on and answer questions for our folks. I put your Facebook and Instagram in there so people can follow you. So you'll probably get some new friend requests as people poke you and ask questions. Any questions about Classic Beauties International, you guys can reach out to Kathryn as well. And she will give you all the scoop about them, but we're going to try to get her over to Pure. So all my Pure sisters, message her, and we're going to love on her and get her over where she belongs with us. But no, I'm kidding. We do want you at Pure though. So anywho.
Well, actually, I'm so blessed, and I'll just leave with this. My whole team of Classic Beauties are also Christians. And I wasn't winning nationally, internationally with other titles that weren't. And when I won and I learned everybody and I learned their heart, I was like, this is why I'm at Classic Beauties.
I love it. I love it. So you all can come to Pure next because you'll be done. Your year's up. You'll all come over and then we'll all be sisters forever. And, and it'll be great. It'll be great. I love it. Thank you so much for being on, Queen. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week where we have another queen. I'm not going to tell you guys who yet. You'll just have to wait till I post it. You can see the replay of this on Facebook and on YouTube. And everyone out there, never dull your sparkle because someone else can't handle your shine. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Night.